Hello, and thank you very much for staying tuned to the Nigerian Television Authority. My name is Cecil Egbele, and you're watching the Medley Show with Cecil. The countdown has begun. Right now, we are counting down by days. The D-Day is upon us. February 25th is going to be the day when we will go to the polls to decide who our next president will be, and of course, those of the National Assembly. Well, last week on the program, we had the INEC National Commissioner, Festus Okoye. We had a very interesting conversation. Yes, he communicated and answered as many of our questions as possible. And right after the show, I still saw many of your questions, and I thought, okay, it might be important. Many of you writing that, please, you need your questions answered on air. You have so many concerns and worries. During our repeat days, many of your questions still came in. And I thought, okay, all right, we're in this together. Let's get back on set and let's see how much more of our questions we can answer. I will ask very few questions because I have a whole lot of your questions. Well, if your questions has been answered, please don't bother sending in again. If you have fresh questions you want answered, then you can send in the questions to our phone line, which is 081 177 82020. That's our phone line. But today I have with me on set Mary Nkem. Mary Nkem is Deputy Director of Voter Education of the INEC at the headquarters. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so you guys have been on the field, you have been working, educating people, talking to people. How's the response been? Are people understanding? Are they following? Are they, especially the beavers? Hey, the beavers has been the topic of discussion. In fact, it should be a whole, tell us, first of all, how has the education been?
Well, the education has been okay. Like you said, people have been responding. Questions are coming because people are paying attention and they want to know more. So people are getting more understanding, particularly about the beavers that you just mentioned, a new technology that the Commission just introduced into the electoral process.
Okay, yes, the beavers, it's quite an interesting technology. Now, we, at the last election and previously, we had the, what's it called, what's it called, that one?
The smart card reader.
The smart card reader, and now you've graded up to the beavers. So tell us the difference between the smart card reader and the beavers.
Okay. The smart card reader is also an electronic device.
Okay.
But what the smart card reader does was that people are authenticated, voters are authenticated using only their fingerprints.
Only the fingerprints.
Yes, and when we're using the smart card reader, the details of the voter were embedded in the PVC, that's the permanent voter's card. But now that we've upgraded to the beavers, that's the bimodal voter accreditation system, the details of every voter per unit has been uploaded into the particular smart beavers that is to be used at that particular unit. And now, not only that, it is called bimodal, which means the beavers also has a two-way ways of authentication. So which means the voter can either use the fingerprint or the facials.
Either of the fingers.
Yes, or the facials. Remember when we're using the smart card reader, if a voter's fingerprint is not authenticated, at a point we say the voter cannot vote. But when the Commission realized that so many people were not able to vote, they came up with what we called the incident form. So which means if you brought out your card, presented your card, and discovered that it is the original card validly issued by the Commission, then once you are not, and it is ascertained that you are the owner of that card, then they give you an incident form you fill if your fingerprint fails. That was for smart card reader. But now you are telling me to give you a difference between no incident form, because if your fingerprint fails to be authenticated, if you fail to be authenticated through your fingerprint, definitely the facials cannot fail. And like our former director ICT will say, if he does, it means the person didn't come to the polling unit with the face, which is not possible.
Okay, all right. So, but very quickly, understanding the beavers. Now, with the beavers, once I go there, I get to authenticate my fingers or my face. You know, with the smart card reader, I go back there. You tell us come by 11:30 to start voting.
That was in
That's
2011.
20. Okay,
That was long ago. The
Ah.
commission changed to a simultaneous voting, even with the smart card reader. Remember in 2019, you get accredited and you vote simultaneously and go home.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, all right. So that's taken care of. Now let's quickly take as many of our messages as possible. So because there are very many, just answer the questions as quickly so we can run through them.
Okay.
Can INEC open up transfer of PVC temporary through their various offices so people can do transfers? It goes on and says so many. Just so you have an idea of that question.
No. The answer is no. The window for continuous voter registration has been closed for now, and will resume probably after the election. So we cannot entertain any transfer any longer.
Okay, all right. For those who did transfer of PVC and now have two PVCs, can you use them at different times depending on?
You can't.
Can it?
Once you transfer and your transfer is successful, which means for you to have even gotten the PVC to your new location means your transfer was successful. And once the transfer is successful, even before it got to the point of printing the PVC, the voter's name must have been deleted from his or her former polling unit. So you cannot use it. Yes.
Okay, if you don't have the plastic, I guess that's a PVC,
Yes.
but you have the paper on with information complete, can you vote with
That's
it?
the
This is
TVC.
ability from Port Harcourt.
TVC. The law says a voter appears at the polling unit with your permanent voter's card, which is the PVC. That is the only means of identification at the polling unit. So no PVC, no voting.
Good morning. Okay, good day. My PVC is 2011. Can I vote with it?
Sure, you can vote with it. 2011 PVC is valid. It's okay,
2011
yes.
PVC.
All PVCs do not
What about
expire.
if the person never had it in 2011 but they didn't get to use it
Yes.
and has not used it?
Well, that's why when we commenced the CVR, we encourage voters to check their status to be sure that your name is on the database. So even if you got your PVC in 2011, even though you have never used it, and your name is in our database, definitely you can vote.
All right, so someone is asking a similar question. I want to find out if my 2018 PVC can be used in the forthcoming election. Paul from Calabar.
Sure, same answer.
Same
You can
answer,
use
but
it, yes.
just to
But
be
there's-
triple sure, is there a way they can confirm that?
Yes, there's a way they can confirm that their name is on the database. You can go through INEC, voters.inecnigeria.org. When you click on it, you put in, it's a self-service station. It will tell you what to do. By the time you put all your details, it will show you if your name is on our database. It will be there.
Oh, okay, all right. Let's go to WhatsApp now. Some people are trying to call. Please do not call the line. I see your calls coming in. I appreciate it. But this is a text, WhatsApp only, WhatsApp text or regular text line only. Okay, who is this? I watched the program this morning, but my question was not answered. What's your question? Oh, you are writing from Benin Republic. That is Chinedu from Benin Republic. Your question is so long. Please summarize it, and I will take your question. I'll be looking forward to answering your question, Collins. Chinedu. All right, next is Collins. Collins is asking, when is INEC coming up with collection of PVC again? Collins from Rivers State.
When the commission, after the election, the general election, the commission will resume the continuous voter registration exercise, and the date for that will be made public.
Okay,
So
the date
it's
will be
at
made
that
public
period
time.
that one will be able to maybe get their PVCs.
Okay, good day. I have updated my data. Do I go to INEC office and collect my new PVC?
Well, the window for PVC collection has been closed for now, until after the general election.
Okay, someone says a picture. Oh, someone sent a picture. Let me see if I can open it. And the person is saying, all right, let me show you this. Oh, sorry, there's a call trying to. The person is saying this is what it shows. It shows this picture. It says, The picture above is my slip for correction of my name, which was written as Blues instead of Bulus during the 2011 INEC registration. But now I can't trace the corrected PVC. I went to my ward and the local government INEC, but they can't find the PVC. Can I use the old one? So this is what he's talking about.
That is, he applied for replacement, for correction.
Okay.
For correction of
Yeah,
his
name.
name. So if he did that and he still has the old PVC, in as much as the VIN number on the PVC, whether old or new, is the same, he can still use the old one to
Okay.
vote.
All right. So Bulus, whose name was spelled Blues. All right. So I hope you get that one now. All right. So let's get back to what text messages. Hello. What if your voter's card picture is washed or the numbers is removed? What do you do? I think it's a similar question that came in last week. It's faded. Your picture is not obvious. What can you do?
The picture, if the PVC is faded, once the VIN number is visible, it can still be used to vote on election day.
Oh, once the
Yes.
VIN number is visible.
Yes.
Okay, Ma, I registered in Lagos in 2011. Anytime I check my details, I see a man's face, not mine. So I had to re-register again, and I have my PVC. Can I still vote?
A man's name, a man's picture.
So I take it that you are a lady, then your PVC issued in 2011, the picture shows a man's face, but your
But
name,
the
I
other
guess.
details,
Huh?
the other details are hers.
So I get, are the other details yours? So when you say you had to re-register again, was it corrected? Did you get a new one? So I don't know, send it again a little clearer, please. And you did write your name. Please write your name and where you're writing us from. Okay. Well, I think it's time for us to take reports. We had our correspondent from across the country. Package some reports on preparations from their ends, media preparations, and political scenario playing up in their different zones. All right, let's take this one from Kaduna. Aisha from Kaduna put this together. Let's have a look at it. I'll be right back.
As the date for the general elections draws near, stakeholders are busy putting last-minute touches for a hitch-free election.
We are going to give an election the like of which has never ever been seen. And this will be possible because of the use of the beavers machine. I think it's very unique in the sense that it's the first time in Africa that such a machine is being used. And that machine is predicated upon one man, one vote. There are no two ways about it. You cannot cast your ballot without the PVC. And once you vote, you cannot vote again. So I'd like to use this opportunity to assure Nigerians, to assure the world that we are going to give an election the like of which has never ever been seen, and to reassure Nigerians that their votes will count.
The media, be it news, social or web media, play an important role in ensuring that information about the forthcoming elections gets to the populace. How prepared are major media parastatals in Kaduna State in carrying out the act of dissemination of information during the election period?
In terms of preparation for the 2023 general elections, just about 2 to 3 weeks ago, we went for a workshop and training on how best to cover the 2023 general elections. The 2019 elections was one of the best covered elections in terms of coverage by the Nigerian Television Authority, and it's based on that I want to build on the achievements of 2019. And in order to improve on that, we are trained on how to make timely and accurate reports on the D-Day. And in terms of that, we are going to do more of actuality reporting instead of in the past where you do reports and getting to the studio it is already expired. This time around, we are going to be on the field and sending reports directly from the fields.
First, we've identified all the correspondents that will cover the elections, and then we do accreditation for them. And after that, we make sure that each person is familiar with rules and regulations guiding the coverage of election. What we intend doing next week is to hold a training session, just to remind them. They are all aware because they have been doing it all over the years, but just to remind them, to make a refresher for them so that they can be familiar with new guidelines, particularly new methods of election.
For the past months, we've been doing the countdown to the election, and for those who will be on the field, and even as well as those who will be in the studio to do live discussion or live coverage of the event, first of all, familiarize themselves with the Electoral Act as amended 2022, so that they know what to do and what not to do.
And then at the moment, we're running a jingle that is telling people the importance of casting their votes, that is to carry out their civic social responsibility. Proposal on the ground to do that on the 16th of, that's in 4 days' time, today's 13th, in 3 days' time, to train our reporters and our correspondents on electoral coverage, on how to go about covering elections, because it's very important. And there's a standing rule that you don't announce reports on your own. You wait for the umpire to announce the reports. And there is a system we have in place unless and until the umpire announces the result, the correspondent is on no grounds should announce any results.
I think we are fully prepared for it because we've already trained our staff and even support staff that are going to support us during the elections on how to go about the entire exercise from day one up to the gubernatorial elections.
From all indications, all hands are on deck in Kaduna State towards delivering an excellent coverage of the elections. Here is to wishing Nigeria a peaceful, free, fair and credible elections.
All right, that report is from Aishat Ayuba from NTA Kaduna. Thank you very much for that one. And there are more messages coming in. Let's take it as quickly as possible. Okay. This person is from Port Harcourt. Your name is Ziworitin. Now, your surname is very tongue-twisting. I'll skip it. But he said, my PVC is lost, but can I have my photocopy and still vote?
The answer is no. You cannot vote
that.
with your TVC. That's a temporary voter
No, he's even saying that. It's the photocopy. No, yeah. No. All right, so you know that your answer already. All right, so we have another text message. Jubilee Obo, I did my transfer and I went to collect in my local government, but it cannot be found. I filled the form again, and they still call me, and they will call me, and I've not heard from them. How can I vote? You're coming from Agbaro in Delta State.
So sorry about that. Unfortunately, the window for collection of PVC has also closed. We closed that on the 5th of February, 2023.
All right. I hope the beavers will be enough for all polling units in Nigeria.
More than enough, even with space for in case of any eventuality.
I remember the commissioner mentioned last week that there'll be extras.
Definitely.
I don't know what you call it.
RA level, that's registration
areas. Okay,
yes.
Just in case.
In case anyone malfunctions within the registration area.
Oh, perfect. I transfer my PVC to my new settlement and I can't find it. You mean can't find it? I can't find it, Daniel from Jos. Okay, all those transfer issues. Okay, unfortunate, and I don't know if that person is happy with that answer.
If the transfer was successful, definitely the name must have been moved from his former location to the location where he now intends to register, to vote. So which means he cannot because he doesn't have the PVC. Okay,
this next question has to do with the website you called. I think we have the graphics of the website. He said, please, there is this link on social media through which one is asked to confirm your polling unit status. I have tried, and that is not confirmed. Can I still visit the same polling unit where I visited in 2015? Timothy from Abuja.
Yeah, we have various options for confirming your polling unit status. It's either you go through the cvr.inecnigeria.org.
We have the graphics, right? Yeah,
BBS,
all right. Okay.
Okay. Voters.inecnigeria.org. Then you can also visit the polling unit. The Commission intends to paste all the registered voters in the polling units before the election day of election. So you can also check that.
Oh yeah, for those of you confused, you can actually see the site on the screen, so you can quickly copy it so you can be sure. So, you know, there are some... Oh, someone asked a question. I can't find that question now. He asked the question of, you know, this thing they'll say, send something to one code.
8014.
Yes, to
like
8014 to confirm if, yeah. I don't know if you've seen something like that.
We have seen several of it, but it's not from the commission.
It's not from the
So
commission.
it's a fake news, yes.
Okay, good afternoon, ma'am. My PVC is faded. Another faded PVC question, but I have my temporary one with my VIN. Can I vote with it? What's your name? So,
as long as the faded PVC still has the VIN number, he can use it.
okay,
Yes.
okay. So far, the VIN number is very important.
Yes.
So, but he needs to have the hard copy.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Please, I can't find my PVC and I don't know what to do again. Grace is asking.
What to do is to patiently wait until after the election, when the commission resumes the continuous voter registration exercise. Then you now apply for a replacement.
Then you cannot apply for a replacement. And if you really want to vote, you can now tell your friend to say, please make sure you vote my candidate, so at least you know you are not, it will not be 0-0. Okay. Please, can I transfer to vote for governorship election in a different polling unit after the presidential election, since my location would have changed due to work? Uche from Enugu.
No, you can only vote at the polling unit where your name is enlisted, and the name doesn't change like that. So if you are to vote in a point A, that is where you are to vote for both the presidential and the governorship election.
Okay, so let me just take one more question. I will go to Port Harcourt. Can someone who registered in 2003 vote in 2023? That's like 20 years.
No. That card is no more visible because that's not the permanent voter's card.
That's not a permanent voter's card.
Yes.
All right, so while I still go through your many questions and try to filter so that we won't be taking repetition of questions, let's go to Port Harcourt, where Francis and Sam and Esther put together a feature on preparations from that end. Let's have a look at it. I'll be right back.
The media is a critical stakeholder when it comes to elections and the electioneering processes in Nigeria. The events preceding, during, and after the elections are made known to the public through the coverage of the media.
2023 election is very important, and we know how important it is to Nigerians. So what we have done, we have tried to put everything in place to ensure that we do a good job. We have prepared our cars, and we have gotten some good equipment, like we are trying to repair the cameras that are not good, ensuring that there is training of the staff so that at the point of delivery there will be no lack. So we have trained our staff sufficiently. Recently there's been a training on reportage of electioner, a very exhaustive training. They were taught how to use their telephones, and they were given apps so that they can send it on the go, so that we don't lose anything at all. We have worked on the second studio, on our old studio, to ensure that we have a second studio, so that at any point there will be no reason why there will be delay in transmission. Our set is ready. They built the set for the elections. We call it the verdict. That's ready. That's already done. In fact, we're ready for this election.
As a journalist, I've gone for several trainings on how to cover this election. You know, we have to be trained and retrained to be fit for the job. INEC has also done some trainings for us on how to cover the election. So I would say I am okay and I'm prepared for the forthcoming election.
In Rivers State, with the existing synergy between the media and the Independent National Electoral Commission, stakeholders are certain that the forthcoming elections would be hinge-free.
You know that we're almost 100% prepared. What is remaining as the last lap of the process before we get on to elections proper is the training of ad hoc staff. And that's what we have kick-started since Saturday. We've trained the SPOs, the supervisory presiding officers. By 15th, we start training the presiding officers, assistant presiding officers, 1 to 3. And this the crop of this sector of ad hoc staff come from the NYS. We have been as well badging our materials that we have disbursed from the state office to the local government. As we receive it from the HQ, we disburse to the local government, and then in receipt, of via from EC25B. It is being disbursed to the local government as well. And it is being kept at the super racks and the rack centers just for ease of administration of election. The media is not to be joked with. We have a robust synergy, and that should continue till elections proper.
The online-based accreditation that has been put in place by INEC in regards to doing accreditation for media personnel has been an innovative endeavor. Specifically, NTA Network Center Port Harcourt has been successful in doing this accreditation for its media personnel.
The call from the media for adequate security during the elections cannot be overemphasized, as media personnel have continued to register their concerns.
We already seen in some of the campaigns in River State marred by violence, and this is not too good. And so we are saying that during the election, particularly at the riverine areas, adequate security should be provided.
If you are at a particular scene and you start hearing gunshots, or you start hearing people wielding machete and what have you, the first thing you will do as a human being is to take cover. You have to be alive to report that somebody has been killed. You don't have to be killed.
A hinge-free election is anticipated in the state, as the citizens, the media, electoral body and other stakeholders have continually put measures in place for a smooth process in line with best practices.
Francis and Sarah and Esther from NTA Programme, thank you very much for that one. And if you're just joining us, the program is the Medley Show with Cecil, and I'm your girl, simply Cecil. All right, I have Miriam Weke with us, Deputy Director of Vote. Nkem with us, and she's the Deputy Director of Voter Education of INEC. And we've been answering as many of your questions as possible, questions from last week and some of the fresh questions of today. Now there's this one I would like you to take. Says, I'm Musa from Kuje. I have seen some INEC officers copying those number digits on the voter's card. My question is that, 1, why are they copying the numbers? 2, can I still use a PVC to vote? Are they copying numbers?
Well, some time ago, the Commission came up with the idea of getting the VIN numbers of PVCs, particularly those who registered earlier on, that were not on the portal, to get them in the portal so that when people go there, when people visit these portals, they can actually get their details from the portal. So if it was the INEC of staff that were copying that number, it was a genuine job they were doing from the Commission.
Okay. All right, so no cause for alarm. Don't worry, you're safe. You can still go to vote. All right, who is this? Nelly from Agbama Housing Estate in Umuahia here is asking, the eligibility for voting is 18 years and above. How do you, INEC, identify the case of ineligible voters who have already been registered but are underaged? One question. Second is, how do people get to their various wards to cast their vote in case of proximity, especially those that require transportation to their wards?
Well, you know, the process of election is not just for the Commission only. It's for all Nigerians. And this registration takes place at community levels. So when people come for a registration, there are instances where even the official may identify somebody and say, oh, this person looks underage. But the people within the community will come out and say, no, in their generation, this is how they are. They don't grow tall, they are small. This person is 20-something years. So in that instance, what do you do? So at times what the Commission does at the point of registration, in that instance, is to request for a means of identification to confirm that that person is actually of age. But for somebody who has registered and has a PVC, and the community, you know, definitely when you register, if you pick any date of birth, that is, in fact, you can't even pick any date of birth that will enable you to be under 18. The system will not even take it. Yes. So even if that happens, when, you know, when a child comes to the polling unit to vote, when you see a child, you will know that this is a child. But it is rare. It's very rare for you to find such with us.
Okay. Michael and Kelly from Otukpo in Benue State is asking, does the beavers that never want to vote anywhere? If no, why?
The reason why the beavers will not enable you to vote anywhere is because the data for the voters for that particular polling unit have been uploaded into the beavers for that unit. So that is the only place you can vote. If you take your PVC to another polling unit where your data is not in the beavers, it will not recognize you. So because the law says a voter vote for now where you register or where your name is enlisted in the register of voters. So that's where you cast your vote.
All right, let's try to take 2 or 3 questions. Dear INEC, I did transfer of PVC of which I have received the new card. But surprisingly, another card was brought to me from the INEC office. What should I do? This is Anthony from Delta State. Now let's take another one, and this person is Felicia Emaku from Abuja. How can I correct my name or my PVC that was spelled wrongly? Now let's talk about names spelled wrongly, because that's part of the questions I saw multiple times previously. Names were spelled wrongly, so what does that person do?
If a name is wrongly spelled, that was why when we embarked on the continuous voter registration exercise, we asked people, those who were qualified to participate in that exercise, were new registrants, those who have never registered, or those who wanted transfer, who relocated, or whose PVCs were defaced and needed replacement, as well as those who had whatever form of error on their PVC. For instance, maybe age, the name, the gender. So such people were supposed to update their PVC, make correction during the CVR. But unfortunately, that window for now has closed, and it will only open again when we resume the continuous voter registration exercise. But for somebody whose name is wrongly spelled, but still has his or her PVC and didn't change location, that is PU, where he or she will vote, I think such person can still vote, manage with us with the wrong name and vote, considering the fact that during the CVR, when we resume, he can effect that correction.
Okay, so as far as it's the same wrongly spelled name that is on the beavers and on the card, so we're good.
Yes.
Okay, what about the person who has done change of name? Yes.
And has not gotten his PVC like somebody asked.
Yes, like
somebody changed a name and have not gotten the PVC, but he still has the old PVC that is carrying the same VIN number and the same polling unit. Such person can still use the old PVC to vote.
Okay.
Because the VIN number will be there.
Okay.
It's the same VIN number. Even if it was issued another PVC, it's the same VIN number.
Oh, it's the same VIN number.
Yes.
All right, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I went to collect my PVC. They saw it in the system, but they didn't see my... They saw it in the system, but they didn't see my PVC. Ikenna is asking this question. What is he going to do?
So which means the PVC probably was not printed. That's why we ask them to... People now apply for a reprint. They get the PVC printed. But unfortunately, like we said, that window for now for PVC collection has been closed until after the election.
Maya from Jos is worried. He said that I couldn't get my voter's card, and I tried checking my status on the website. It showed that I have not been registered, but I did registration. What went wrong?
You see, that's why after the registration, there is a time for display for claims and objection. That is when such people ought to have gone there, check if their name was not in the register. Then they lay claims that, oh, I registered and my name is not here. Then they'll be directed as to what to do next. Unfortunately, again, that window for now has been closed. There's nothing we can do about it for now.
Okay, Babyface from Kaduna is asking what time will voting start and end on Saturday, on February 25th?
Voting starts at 8:30 a.m.
8:30
a.m.
So that means your staff will be there
before 8:30.
Okay.
They have set up. So voting will commence at 8:30 and will close at 2:30 p.m. 2:30 p.m. does not mean when anybody who is on the queue on or before 2:30 will definitely be attended to. There's nobody that is on the queue at 2:30 that will not be attended to.
There will be no reason why, 8:30 to 2:30, there's no reason why
somebody will not be
even if you are going to be crawling, you must get to your polling unit in good time.
Yes.
All right, let's take a trip to Lagos. Debola put together this package, and then let's have a look at it.
As Nigeria prepares to hold a 7th consecutive general election since the country returned to democracy in 1999, the Center for Democracy and Development said the 2023 election will be the most challenging to conduct in Nigeria, saying the ranging insecurity, preparedness of the electoral body, INEC, and conduct of presidential candidates will shape the outcome of the polls.
So in Lagos State, we have received all the beavers that we are going to use for the conduct of the election. We have 13,325 and we have backups because each unit will have beavers. So we have backups just in case any one of the beavers malfunction in the elections. We have backups. So it should be noted that Lagos State now has the largest number of polling units due to expansion of voter access to polling units. The PU was increased from 8,464,000 to 13,325 for a seamless access of voters to polling units.
The media play an indispensable role in the proper functioning of democracy. Discussion of the media's functions within electoral contests often focuses on their watchdog roles, which includes reporting results and monitoring vote counting, providing information that, as far as possible, avoids inflammatory language, helping to prevent election-related violence.
Tell the unbiased story of what we have seen at the location.
We should also ensure that we imbibe our house style in the course of doing this.
Nigerians are earnestly hoping that the election bring about the much desired change in our polity.
We are ready and we are looking forward to a hitch-free election. We only appeal to the political parties to rein in their youthful people and make sure that they allow us to vote in a peaceful manner.
Nigerians yearn for a new political order where the work culture and serviceable public ethics would guarantee hard work, honesty, diligence, meritocracy, and human flourishing.
All right, thank you very much, Debola from NTA Lagos, for that one. More messages. Adamu Dishi Kupo is asking, how about eligible voters without fingers, that is the disabled? Okay, now let's talk about those challenged. What's your plan? Are you considering them?
Definitely.
I mean, remember the blind, other conditions.
Yes, the Commission conducts all-inclusive election. So we take into account the aged, the nursing mothers, the physically challenged. For instance, on election day, the Commission has produced what we call ballot Braille guide that enables the physically challenged or blind voters to cast their votes unaided on election day. Yes, the Commission also allows physically challenged voters like the visual impaired to come to the polling unit with any member of their family of their choice to assist them. But in order to conduct an election that is open, secret indeed, that nobody is supposed to know who you are voting for. Now the Commission comes up with that. So with that Braille ballot guide, voters who have vision impairment can actually vote on election day unaided if they know once they can use that device. But apart from that, we also accord them priority at polling units. So when anyone who is physically challenged comes to a polling unit, they are given priority. They are not allowed to queue up with the other people, to stay on the line for that long. So also the aged, people who are aged, nursing mothers, and visibly pregnant women, they are given such priority. So the physically challenged are really given up priority on election day, and the materials that will enable them to vote seamlessly are provided at the polling units for them.
Thank you. That's good to know. I mean, you seem to be very, very prepared. I just hope, I also hope everything is going to work out as planned. Sometimes, like I told your boss last week, sometimes planning is easy. It's very, it's smooth. Yes, I use the instance of the jollof rice. You cook for family, the ingredients goes round, very nice. Well, when you now say, okay, I want you to transfer this tasty rice to a big party, as I will now start saying, that was how the tomatoes now finished to the salt didn't now go around.
That will be lack of preparation.
Exactly.
But in our own case, we are prepared.
It's okay.
So it won't be like that.
It's all right. Please and please, I want to confirm, is it true that the INEC ad hoc training has been shifted to 17th and 19th of February 2023? Please, I want to know.
Well, the training is going on in some states as we speak. But I learned maybe from, at least from the FCT that I know, the training will now take place from Friday.
Okay, FCT is going to take place on Friday.
Yes, I don't know of elder states anyway, but I know that like Niger is ongoing, but for FCT, that's the only one I know now that it has been shifted to Friday.
Uche, you asked this question. I don't know if the INEC official can answer this, but let me just ask the question. Good evening. Okay, yeah, this is some last week question. Please, politicians are paying people to collect their PVC. Please, does it mean that the person will no longer vote? Sorry, wait, are you kidding me? Wait. This is not true. Politicians are paying people to collect their PVC.
To do what?
How would they use the PVC to vote if you are going to use fingerprint and facials?
Because they cannot give it to transfer it to any other person. Nobody can use it.
I mean, Uche, come on, I want to believe speculation. Please, you have to be sure of your fact, because come on, how can that even happen?
Because the politician may even be harming himself.
Exactly.
Indirectly.
Yes, so, okay, good. Let's see more questions to take. Someone is asking. Ooh, okay. Paul from Ondo State, what's your question? No question. You're just saying hello. Thank you very much. And someone is trying to call when I'm begging that you should not call. My name is Amaka Joy Omebe. I have the old PVC and I did transfer from Benue to Abuja. Can I vote with it since they did not call me for the new one? Did you do transfer of polling units? I don't know if she did transfer.
He's talking about transfer of his place of relocation from his former place to a new place. Yes, if he did that transfer and it was successful, so which means definitely the details have been moved to the new location. So he cannot vote in his former location.
So he cannot vote in the former location.
And he doesn't have the PVC to vote, he didn't collect the PVC to vote in the new location.
Okay. Okay, someone is talking about, no, let's talk about change of polling units. I mean, some people moving from polling units to another.
The commission moving some...
Yeah, you know, there are some polling units that are similarly crowded, congested, and I hear that you have increased the number of polling units.
Definitely.
So, how does that work? How am I going to know where I am now?
You know, like we said, the commission has listening ears. When we conduct election, after this election, the commission goes for what we call post-election review. And all issues that didn't go down well with the process will be identified. So in one of such meetings, it was identified that some of the polling units are highly congested. And the commission created what we called baby unit, voting points at a time. So for instance, if you have like 3,000 persons in a polling unit, the commission creates like 4 or 5 polling units within the same location. Now, the commission, trying to do the needful, decided in 2021 to convert all the voting points, all those sub-polling units, into full-fledged polling units, and requested that voters should transfer their registration from the congested ones to these polling units. So when that was not done as required, because during the FCT election, we realized that so many of such polling units were still recording 0 voters. They didn't have any voter. So the commission now decided to move voters from the congested polling units to this less congested one, but within the same location. Okay,
so how do I know that I've been moved?
Yes, how you know that you have been moved? Like the address I read out before.
Okay.
cvr.inecnigeria.org/VVS.
Okay.
Or voters.inecnigeria.org.
Okay.
You go online and you check, you will know where your polling unit is. And not only that, the commission also is going to embark on pasting this register of voters at polling units. So voters are expected to go and check to know where their names fall or where their polling units will be. And the commission is not stopping at that. Now the commission is planning to send SMS to all the affected voters so that they will know that they have been moved from one location to the other.
I mean,
so
even if I have to admit it myself, if all you're saying is actually that's it,
that is it.
I must admit that you are doing a good job. I mean, come on, it's not
Thank
easy.
you.
I hope people are going to send messages and tell us that, oh yes,
Definitely,
I mean, they've seen this.
Definitely.
All right, so there are more.
Is what we call talk now do.
Talk now do. I hear you. I hear you. I hope you can also speak pidgin. Your boss spoke pidgin last week, and he was like,
I do.
In fact, he ran me street. Like here I was thinking that I'm going to put him on the spot, but when he just started running me street, that's why I don't pause. Just leave the guy like, okay, calm down, calm down.
I dey try small.
All right, you partner with organizations like Yaga and the others. So there's this election 101 that Yaga does, very educational. So they put this together, I think Yaga and UNDP. So this one we're going to watch now is on the beavers and how it works.
Welcome to Elections 101 in 5, where we focus on simplifying the complex aspect of Nigeria's electoral process and the recently signed 2022 Electoral Act. On this program, we focus on the how and not who to vote. This is brought to you by Yaga Africa and supported by UNDP. My name is Samson Itodo, and let's get started with the question of the day. What is the BVAS and how does it work? This is how some Nigerians explain it when we went to them to ask them.
The only thing I know is that they will check whether you are the one that is on the picture.
No idea. It's something that we must use in this country because without it, especially me, I will not go and vote.
Interesting. BVAS is the acronym for Bimodal Voter Accreditation System. It is a technological device introduced by INEC in 2021 to promote credible election and prevent election rigging. It replaced the smart card reader and the Z-pad used in previous elections. The 2022 Electoral Act gives INEC the power to use any technological device for aspects or components of our electoral process. The BVAS is the technological device prescribed by INEC for voter accreditation. Now, the BVAS is used for three major activities. First, during voter registration, the BVAS serves as a voter enrollment device used to register voters. So during the CVR, the BVAS was used to register voters. On election day, the BVAS is used to accredit voters before voting. And lastly, the BVAS is used to upload and transmit election results on election day. Now, for the purposes of accreditation, the BVAS reads the PVC and it authenticates a voter's biometric. So as a voter, the BVAS is used to authenticate your fingerprints as well as your facial identity before you vote. Now, to read the PVC, this is how the BVAS does that function. One, it can scan, the barcode and the QR code at the back of your PVC to determine whether your name is on the voter's register. Alternatively, the presiding officer can actually impute the last 6 digits of your voter identification number, because every registered voter has a unique identification number. So the last 6 digits of that number can be imputed on the BVAS to determine whether your name is on the register or you are registered in that particular polling unit. The presiding officer can also use your last name to check whether your name is on the register. This entire process is to verify whether you have an authentic PVC before you are accredited to vote. But beyond accreditation, the BVAS is also used to upload polling units results to the INEC Election Results Viewing Portal known as the IREV. To do this, the BVAS is used to capture the image of the result sheet used at the polling unit on election day and immediately transmit the results to the portal. And once the results are available on the portal, you as a voter or as a member of the public can access them. The BVAS does not require internet connectivity to function, and this is against, the misinformation out there. As long as the battery is charged and the device is configured properly, it can function optimally. Internet connectivity is only required for transmission of results, but apart from that, the BVAS doesn't require internet connectivity to function. Now you know what the BVAS is and how it works. We urge you to support the use of the BVAS for elections because it ensures your vote counts. And that's Election 101 in 5.
Okay, thank you very much, Yaga Africa, Sam Itodo, and of course UNDP for putting that one together. Very educational piece. There are so many of these, so you might want to just check them out online. Let's take some messages. Bravo to you, wonderful Cecil Egbele on the Medley Show. This live program on polling unit verification is indeed timely and enlightening. Adeleke from Lagos. Now, there are a couple of questions I want to ask you. Let's see if I can take them very quickly. Now, let's start with, we talked about the disabled. You say you have them all taken care of. Now, someone sent a question asking that one doesn't have they don't have the 10 fingers. What do you do? Yes, you will tell me facial verification, but what about thumb printing?
When the person doesn't have the 10 fingers.
Yes.
When during the registration, the commission has a process of, a special way to register such people. So now when it comes to election, the person doesn't have the fingers. The person can use his toes to thumb print the ballot.
Okay, can use the tools. Okay, yeah, obviously, for him to have a PVC, he must have registered with that.
And the system also has a special way of skipping some aspect for such people.
Now, the next question is in line with what someone has just asked. I saw something online from your site about over 240 polling units that don't have voters. How is that even possible? And Imo State, for instance, have so many. Please tell us how that came about.
Like I said earlier on, the commission converted our voting points to polling units, thereby bringing this exercise closer to the people, one, and making it seamless for people so that you don't need to get to a polling unit on election day and spend the whole day because of crowd. Now, when we did that, the commission requested that voters, particularly during the CVR, that voters should try and relocate, change their registration, even to these new polling units. And even during the registration, for those who are registering afresh, the commission try as much as possible. When they know your address, where you stay, and they know there are polling units that are newly created there, they try to post people there. So now what the commission did was to move people about. But even despite the movement, we still have about 240 of these polling units that have 0 voters. So which means during the elections will not take place at this polling units.
Godwin is worried and saying that wouldn't that be unfair to well, they don't have voters. So they didn't even register there?
No, they didn't choose that particular polling unit as their location to vote.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
So they don't have the voters at all allocated to that polling unit.
So many questions. Let me try to... So many messages. I'm very sorry. Like I would always say, I can't take them all. But very quickly, did you see that video of one of your staff? Well, yeah, your staff asking people to pay. Well, everybody says she's an INEC staff. Okay, one woman with a whole lot of PVCs telling people to pay to get it. You saw the video, right?
I did.
I mean, what's happening to the person? What's up?
Well, as we speak, that woman has been arrested, and the police is investigating the matter. So as soon as they are done with the investigation, definitely the outcome of that investigation will be made known to the public.
I have less than a minute. Security, are we safe? Have you've been talking with? Yeah, we're safe. We're good. Hey,
that's what we've been assured. The security people don't assure us, say we are safe. Okay, good to go.
Okay, so, on that problem, everybody complain about, we say transport. They say you guys are working with
they work with the National Union of Road Transport Workers, the marine workers, the airplane,
and everybody dey on point, everybody dey in the
picture.
On
same page.
Lagos na one place where everybody dey look like say go be like say
kurukere, everything dey in place.
Una don arrange that one.
Every arrangement.
So no cause for alarm.
Lie.
Oh yeah, tell us your last word before I let you go.
Well, my last word is that Nigerians should keep their PVC safe, and remember that the presidential and National Assembly election is coming up on Saturday, the 25th of February, while that of the state governors and state houses of assembly is 11th of March. So they should come out and vote. It's not just enough to register. It's not just enough to register and pick PVC, but it's for you to register, get your PVC, and on election day, go out to vote for the candidate of your choice.
Go out to vote for the candidate of your choice. That is very important. Come out on election day. Your PVC is not an ID card. It's not, you don't take it to the bank or the ATM. It's for you to use on election day to vote. And you might want to stay tuned to the NTA. There are many more programs on elections coming up, and very soon our studios will be open. Just stay with the NTA to bring you blow-by-blow account of everything. My name is Cecil Egbele. You can watch the repeat of this program on our YouTube series, NTA series, and other past episodes. My name is Cecil Egbele once again, and I say bye-bye on behalf of my entire production crew. Bye-bye.
Bye.